After a challenging forecast, we have an interesting potential weather week. Regardless, it is super cold this week. Nighttime lows will get into the single digits, even single digits below zero a few times. Daytime highs will stay below freezing all week long into next weekend and possibly beyond, but we'll see. I think maybe there's some changes. We'll see in the long range. What I'm going to tell you right now is that what I'm about to show you with the GFS forecast, don't see it as a set in stone, nor the European. There's some crazy stuff being spit out by these models, especially the European model right now. But I've got to tell you, a few days ago, GFS was also showing this. GFS is American model, and then the European. So this is your Loudoun County weather model outlook. This is where I review the models and just show you kind of what they're showing and explain to you what I see here. Nothing too amazing. There are a lot of people who do this. So yeah, the departing low is way up here off the map already today. There is some residual rain and maybe even some sleet and freezing drizzle and stuff here on the East Coast. But for us, the big thing is winds and increasing cold air. Look at that strong northerly flow here. Very cold air, really deep south down to the Gulf. And it's just going to be on us all week long as cold is here and even reinforced later in the week. There's a chance maybe on Thursday you can see a little bit of going on here with the snow kind of in the area. That maybe that would actually refresh our snowpack. We'll still watch that. There's a little bit of a disturbance there. So don't be surprised if flurries show up in the forecast. Then as we go into the next weekend, now it's just super cold. So this is Friday, Saturday. But what I am noticing, there's this little bit of a potential energy here. It's already starting to bring something happening here in the Gulf of Mexico. Right now, the GFS really does not have this doing much. And then you get a redevelopment here of this energy off the East Coast. So some disturbance and some interesting sets up there. This is this is cold. This is a very big high pressure, similar to what we saw this week. So another Arctic high is coming down, and there's upper level energy here trying to do something. And look at this, lows way off to the southeast. I think that the GFS is struggling to figure out what it's going to do. I mean, this is cold and snowing along the eastern coast. That's very rare. That is a very strong low pressure right off the East Coast. And the question is it right? Is it off the coast or is it on the coast? GFS horrible this last storm. Didn't know what it was doing until we got right upon the storm, and then it finally lined up with the European. I'm not saying the European was right either. The European wasn't all that great early, but the European started locking into something and pretty much held it, and was very good. It's at least showing we weren't going to stay all snow. This is a bomb low off the East Coast, and I'm telling you, it wouldn't take much to bring it along the coast itself. If this comes along the coast, this is going to be a blizzard. I mean, right now it looks like a blizzard along the East Coast of North Carolina, and sorry, I jumped way ahead. And I just don't know if it's got it right here in this forecast, or it's going to come right up the coast, on the coast. But this is a blizzard. This is a serious low pressure. It's going to be super windy and cold next weekend. So what I didn't put on the map is, even though it's showing 20s, I don't know if that's going to be true. 2, I don't know if it's going to be, just a clear weekend or not. That is a monster low. It pulls off to the northeast. We stay in a cold pattern, and even reinforcing colder air is going to come in. But we may briefly warm up there. You can see a little bit of a southerly flow with this high off the East Coast. So maybe we get about freezing for a few days after next weekend before reinforcing cold air. And then we'll just watch. I mean, this is still continued a cold pattern. And there's another piece of southern energy way late in the period. No need to even get locked in on that. It's way far off. But that low off the East Coast is crazy. And let me show you why. Here's the European this morning. The European is not going to run the entire track, but it's going to bring the similar feel here to what's going off the East Coast. So yeah, I jumped way ahead because we saw that, but we'll get near. Here's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What's happening is a piece of the polar vortex is actually going to drop off with the low. Come down to the south, look at that low pressure system form. Look, we're already got snow breaking out here on Saturday here all over top of us due to the, what we call photogenic, or some of the moisture kind of getting squeezed out of the atmosphere. And once it starts snowing, it just doesn't stop snowing. All day Saturday, Then it's going to go into, look at that. That's Sunday. That is a monster. A monster low pressure. And as soon as it's not done, the moisture is really steaming all the way around. This is a blockbuster storm if this is coming true. And again, look at that low pressure. Super low. This is a full-out blizzard. So is this coming this weekend? I don't know, but I've really got my alerts high. Let's see what the model show all week long. I'll be doing daily, possibly twice daily updates if this thing keeps on showing up. This is a big storm. The last storm was big and it was weird and interesting. This is a true, what we call Miller A, low pressure forming in the Gulf and coming up slowly riding up the East Coast with very cold air in place. This is, wow, this is going to be a historic type of system if it comes true. So a lot to look at and watch this week. Cold air is here no matter what. Let's deal with that first. But you got to keep your alert high for this coming weekend. This could be one for the record books if true. All right, have an awesome day. You're Loud and Funny with our model outlook. And again, updates coming frequent this week. Thanks.